Name is Ori. This is a long video today. Don't know how to speed it up for you guys. Please stay to the end, subscribe, and like.
I'm back. I just kind of switched over to my other camera, and maybe this may help everybody to see it easily. So what I did on the way I put my these are called sanitary napkins. A lot of people don't know that these are called sanitary napkins. I don't understand why they don't know the actual name for them, but so I'm putting my cloth sanitary napkin together, and I've done everything from the cutting out of everything. I've trimmed it. I'm gonna turn it inside out real quick here, and I put mine together a bit different because I wanted mine shaped a little different, pretty much just to fit me per se, and not what I've always seen out there. And there's nothing wrong with whomever decides to make what's already out there. There's nothing wrong with that. And while I have it on this side, I'm also grab my can, because that's my little trash there, and I really do need to keep my little cans handy from the little strings there. There we go. And I no longer need that. Okay, so that takes care of that. Actually, move you guys around this way. Perfecto. Or either over here, out of the way. Yep, they're there but not there, so that way it doesn't take up too much of space or air. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I've sewn down the core to my topper already. That was my topper. That was done already previously, as you can see. So the area I'm working on is the outer area here. I've already trimmed off my edges because I've already sewn it down, and it looks like I need to go back and sew that down to there. And I will. I'm gonna make a little cut here, so when I turn it over, it'll be easy for me to put together. Okay, there we go. And then I'm gonna do one on this side and one down at the bottom as well, so when I turn it over, they won't bunch up at all. And there's no stitches there right now. I'll get the stitches there in a moment. All right, there we go. So I have those there. Now I'm gonna go and stitch it closer here on these sides, because I noticed that I didn't. And then we're gonna turn it back over, or turn it back out and over, I guess I should say, and top stitch the whole thing down. Now to keep these sides from fraying, that's the part I'm working on, and I may just iron a tiny fold around the edges here, because this is the backer and this is the topper with the core, and there is this part. This material doesn't stretch all the way to the ends of here. If they did, I would have went ahead and sewn all the way around and then came back around and then flipped it inside out. Okay, so bear with me a moment here. I'm gonna sew it over there and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I turned the camera off to do that part, just to sew around it. As you can see, it didn't take me that long. I could have left it going, but I didn't want to make things too long here. I'm just cutting off the excess strings from sewing, or the thread here. That's all I'm doing, is just trimming all that down on both sides, making sure there's not a whole lot of strings. And pretty much this is self-taught, so there's nothing that magical about this, or nothing mysterious, I should say. Yahoo, forgive me because I said the word magical. I did not mean that, guys. I just meant there's nothing mysterious in sewing that I've come to learn. Everything is a learning process. So how I've sewn this together, my topper and my backer, if you can see straight through there, you'll notice that it goes straight through. Here, let's try to do it again. There we go. It goes straight through because that's how I'm gonna turn it inside out. So it's like pushing one side into the other side in order to get it on this right side. And then once we get it over there, we'll get it all straightened out, of course. And that's why I was trimming so much and doing the trimming and constantly trimming, making sure I don't have any puckles, and then definitely there's no holes where there shouldn't be. Now that we got it all there, the reason I did it that way is because you see these, because they don't have, this top piece doesn't extend out to the wing, and it's just this topper piece on the inside. I have to make sure that I don't sew these inside, and they're on the inside like this instead of wrapping around the underwear. So there you have it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold. This is why I changed cameras, so let me bring you down. Okay, so maybe up a little bit so you can see. Okay, what I'm gonna do is take the ends of this topper and I'm gonna fold them in, and that was the purpose of me cutting it, right? So I'm gonna fold this in like so, and I'm gonna top stitch around it. I'll show you what I did in order to close these off and have these look the way that they need to look as well. So I'm gonna close this under, or fold it under, and this is where your great iron comes into play. So hopefully you have your iron closed and it's hot and ready to go. All right, because this is not a lot of area to sew, you're just gonna top stitch all the way around the top. And you're gonna press this out, and then that is what's gonna get everything going for you, okay? All right. Now as I'm top stitching this, because one, I think aesthetically it'll be very pleasing, and two, pleasing to the eye, and two is to keep this end from fraying. And I know if I would have cut this long enough, but I didn't think about that until after I put everything together, and I was like, gotta figure a way to fix this, you know? So, yep, gonna figure a way to fix it, and you guys are gonna get a chance to see how this is gonna fold over as well. So that would be pretty cool as well. How this folds over and how this comes together, how it's made. And I'm just putting this out there. Eventually, yes, I'm gonna be putting these together, but this is my very first one in this way. Not my first one as in creating a sanitary napkin. This is just my first one that I put together in this fashion. I wanted to do something a little different. Not necessarily different, but something that suits me and not suits everyone else. Okay, so now that I have it ironed down to somewhat, okay, I'm gonna take it back over to my machine, and I am going to sew this down. Now for this part, I'll take you over with me so you get a chance to see how I actually sew this under. And some ends may look a little challenging more than others. Next time I know to leave a bigger tab on the sides here, or just make it all the way out to here. But for now, the first ones that I'm sewing together like this, they all are cut like this. So I'm gonna do myself a great favor when I sew the core onto them. Before I sew the back of it on, I am going to set up everything just greatly. Now, before I go over there, these ends here, because I don't want them to fray, I'm gonna have to get a hem on these, and they're gonna be very tiny, nothing large or big or anything like this. If I don't do a hem, that means I would have to do a binding on top of it. I prefer not to do a binding before, that means I would have to do this part first. I mean, turn it inside out, sew a piece onto the back of it, and then bring it back, which is what my original idea was. So let me show you what that will look like. So I would take another piece just like that piece, right? And because I've already formed this down here, I'll come back to it, because I may have to do this in order to get that to look the way I want it to look and to be aesthetic pleasing. And I may have to do this for all of them. I do have some more linen over there, so I'll definitely get on top of that. Yeah, that needs to be ironed out. It's cricket. So what I would do is take this piece and I would line it up. Well, there we go. I would actually line this up with this, right? Do I have this right? Okay, and then what I would do, here's the thing, I still, let's see, even if I was to go back around this again, okay, it would probably work out, and I would do this way. You want to try it? We can definitely try it and see. Hopefully I'm not jacking this up. I wasn't gonna do it this way. I was gonna try to find a way to seal these in, but the only way to seal these in is to actually sew another piece. Now I can cut just small pieces here and put them on the ends, but I should have done that already. I should have thought of that, and I did not think of that. Isn't that something? So I'm learning here on my project as I'm putting these things together, or as I'm doing them, some things that I should have done that I haven't done, and this is where it's really extremely great to take notes on what you're doing, and hence the purpose of the video. And if I'm sharing this right now and you're looking at it and you're seeing it, it's because I thought maybe, hey, we're newbie sewers out there, and you're teaching yourself how to do stuff, or you prayed to Yahuwah, and Yahuwah, he's showing you how to do something. When you make a mistake, you want to take note of that mistake and then learn from that mistake. Easily put by just taking note and making sure that you do this. Because if I was thinking, instead of another whole piece, what I could do as well, and I do have some scraps, but this is just an idea here for right now. What I could do, where is, oh, here's my scrap bag. I have one close by with some scraps in it. If not, they're in the other part there. I can just put a long piece on the back of here, like put a piece here and sew the ends down, and nobody would know that's there. That also would be an extra protection. I'm looking for my other scraps. I know I have them in here close by or close to me without me having, here we go. without me having to go and search so far. Like a piece such as this, that may actually work. So let me cut that down, and yeah, let's get this cut down. And what I mean by cut down is let's not make it so big. Where is, okay, here we go. I am going to use this as a guide. Hold on. Okay. I can put that back on. That's an idea. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just cut this, because this is about the width I would need it on both sides. Thought. Okay, so where are my pins? I'm gonna pin this, and you guys will see how it comes out, because you're watching every step of the way. You're watching me mess up. You're watching me put it together. You're watching me do all of it on purpose. I'm not hiding anything, and that's how I like to keep things 100%. Okay, so there we go. And here's how I would do it. So I can take, and I'm just using my small scissors right now. I don't need those huge scissors. And I'm cutting this right now. There we go. So it can match up to what this is. And I don't mind someone telling me exactly how to do things, you know? All right, so that's one side trimmed to fit that one, all right? And now I'm gonna trim this side to fit this one. And like I said, I'm probably gonna fix the rest of them now that I've learned this, or I see this. So I don't have to do this whole way. So you guys get a chance to see it. All right. Okay, so, and then I would like to make a full linen one, which is probably going to be the next one that I make, all linen. Just an idea, you know. Okay, so here we go. Now, I've done this through this whole thing. What I can do, which is not gonna hurt, because this is gonna be one piece, I'm gonna go over to the machine, sew this down, but not facing up this way. I know this needs to fold over and fold over and be sewn in. And if we can get that done before I turn it over, that will also be even better. So when I do flip it over, I don't have to do that part again. But what I would also like to do after I get this sewn down on here, we're just gonna flip it inside out. I'm not gonna sew across here because I've already closed this off. Had I not closed these edges off already, I would probably take that loose, sew across on both sides all the way, just to make it more substantial. And excuse me for one moment. You may hear a bang. If you do, that's because I'm not a fan of Did I get it? not sure if it is, but hopefully I just got it. I don't know how it got in here, but yeah, that's not. So if you hear that bang, that's what that was. I'm not a fan of those things. Okay. All right, y'all, please help me get through this without being so long. So let's go over to the sewing machine right now and get this done. I'm not using my straight stitch right now. I'm using my other machine that's over here. I'm gonna start from the bottom wing down here at this bottom and not up here at the top. So that way I go around it and I'm done. Okay, so if it was on there we go. Okay, oh, I got it set wrong. I wouldn't go anywhere either. Okay. Hold on, guys. I have to redo this. Like I said, this is a learning experience for me in progress. Learning in progress. Implementation. Doing the will of Yahuwah and trying to do everything that I can that is in the way of Yahuwah that's going to do it right. All right. Okay. All right, I know I'm pretty quiet. I just need, re-threading my needle. Sometimes this can be a pain because you thread it front to back. I don't have a needle threader like the other ones. I'm working on getting one though. Okay, got it threaded. All right, so here we go. And I have this set now to come forward. All right, now what I'm gonna do is turn this. Did I come too far in? I might have come, see, this is all newbie stuff. I was supposed to come right here and out, and I went too far in. All right, see, this is why, you know what? Let me get this done right, and then I'll be back.
Part 2, let's get going. Again, my name is Ori. Like if you subscribe so far of what you've seen and hit the bell icon so therefore you can always know when I am uploading more videos.
All right, so I went back and then I'm going forward. I'm resetting it to come back forward. Perfect. And now there's a lot of readjusting that goes with this, so don't feel like you're not doing it or you don't have it because you gotta stop and readjust or stop and readjust. And then these things happen. Well, no, I do have, okay, I don't. All right, so I'm gonna have to now do my bobbin because I believe my bobbin has ran out of thread. I'm glad this is a tabletop one and not like my big one over there. It's just on the other side. Because I lean it over. It's just the same. Oh, it does. Okay, hold on. I don't need to do my bobbin. I have enough in here. just went back down. Sometimes that happens with older machines. Hopefully one day I would like to get a baby lock machine, you know. Let's pull that up through there. Okay, there it is. All right, let's continue sewing. All right. Now, where was I? I'm gonna have to pick it up again over in this area. I did backtrack, as you saw. Okay, that's still set. Perfect. Now, right here, I want to turn. I put my needle down, lift my foot pedal, and then I turn, and I continue to sew. I'm gonna continue to sew right along this line, try to keep it straight as possible. Okay, so now that I'm down to here, lift up, down. All right, and now that I'm up on it this way, all right, I'm gonna come back this way. Right on top of the other stitches that was there for the core before. All right, so that part, this side is done. So let's go ahead, pull this out. I always make sure I go back under and cut. There we go. So I'm gonna trim this off real quick. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing in the frame here. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing in the frame. I'm gonna trim that off, put that over there. Trim this part off. And whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Put my scissors up here at the top. And let's keep rolling. All right, now let's do the next part. Oh, okay, so here's the next part. I'm gonna start at the top again. I'm gonna come back around and a down, and down, and a down. Really? What is and a down? I have no idea what that is. Okay, so we start at the top of where we made our cut, and I'm gonna sew it. There we go. I'm gonna sew it. And I'm not gonna go too fast. At least I try not to go too fast, so I don't miss that area where I actually need to make my turn, which I'm already to it. Perfect. And for me, okay, this happens a lot. I don't know if anybody saw that, but I did. Sometimes you get too close to the edge of the fabric when you make your turn, and that's perfectly fine. What I'm gonna do is sit this down. I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna do my back stitch. Back to the area where I started. There we go. Now that we're back to that area, I am going to lift my foot, but put my needle down right where I want to make that turn and where I want to bring it into. Now, I'm going to put this down and don't go backwards again, right? Reset your dial to go back forward, or you're going to have the little mistake I just did. And then turn. And all I'm doing is I'm allowing it to feed itself through as we go through. Okay, now I am gonna back up a little bit because I ran off the fabric here. Again, Newbie at its best. Okay. Okay. All right, raise my needle. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and turn. I am going to sit this down. There we go. And you'll see how I go. There we go. Right there. Time to turn it. I'm going back over the same edge that I did before, like I did on the other one. Right. Bring these through, up, cut. Okay, So now that I've done that part, I can remove these. I can put them back in my little bag over there. And now I'm gonna grab my scissors, of course, cut the excess off. Okay, so I've taken care of that. Now, one thing I didn't notice before, and I'm noticing these things as I go along. These parts here that I need to sew down, I can go ahead and put a stitch. Well, no, I can't, because that will sew my little arms in. That's why I didn't do it the first time. I'm glad I reminded myself why not to do it. Otherwise, I'd have been like, oh no, I gotta take this loose and redo that. Okay, so now that I have that there, oh wait, we gotta trim. We have to trim. Okay, so I did this in white, so maybe you can see it. We're gonna trim that outer lining, or that outer area there, on both sides. So let's trim. All right, let's see, am I trimming? I believe we're trimming. We are trimming this. And you trim it down so it doesn't become very bulky at first. I'll be honest with you. I thought trimming was killing my project. And I was thinking, no, we need all that fabric. We don't need all that fabric. It took me a while to learn that. So if you're thinking that from a newbie state, I completely understand. I agree with you at one point. But then you're going to learn that, no, you have to trim so you don't have so much bulk. Because you'll have a lot of bulkage, like this big hump, and then you'll be trying to figure out where that big hump comes from, or why is it there? What's the purpose of the big hump? And I declare, guys, I'm not supposed to. This is my ironing towel. I shouldn't have it. This is what I'm supposed to be cutting on, so I can get the strings off. There we go. And I'm just gonna cut this as straight across as possible. All right. Now it's easier to pick up, and it's easier to get this stuff off of here. The tiny pieces of thread. There we go. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead. Let me put my scissors back on my thing there. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna turn this inside out. Remember how I said we're turning it inside out, and we're gonna take a great look at it and make sure now it looks great. And with all this turning and inside out, if you have any holes or anything in there, this is another beautiful thing I like about putting them together this way. I can get my whole hand in there and push out these corners and make sure I don't have any holes on the inside. That will give you an extra layer of fabric on the inside. And then when you top stitch things down, they'll look a lot better. Okay, so now this top stitching down, it doesn't look so bad. And because this is the same material front and back, it's gonna look that way around the edges. But you've actually taken care of that. You've sewn it down. You know what I didn't? Oh my God, why am I making so many mistakes? Because I'm new at doing this. Anyways, you can leave that just like that. That gave yourself a, and there is a piece of, this is bothering me. Is that, no, it's not attached to anything. It's just a piece of thread that's really stuck on, okay, I'll get it later. That's stuck on the what's name. So here we go. Here's the almost finished product. Let's go back over to the machine. Let me see if I need to iron this down one more time. Get my little ironing piece, little towel over here. Let's iron this down one more time. And then I'll do another one and show you how it turns out as well. We'll do another one on camera together. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna iron this down, and I'm gonna put the snaps on this one, and this one is actually finished. That's with the waterproofing layer just in the center. The ones I'm working on now is just in the center. All right, so now we're back over at the machine. I am going to start. There we go. I'm going to start here. Okay, and I want these to be a little bit finer. So I'm going to make my stitch length about 8. And I am doing the zigzag stitch. I think I'm going to do a different zigzag stitch, a little bit tighter one. All right, and then I'm going to go back some. And the reason I'm going to go back is just to make sure that edge is taken care of. And it's there very greatly. Let's see. I want them very, very tiny, if that makes sense. All right, come on, we gotta go forward. Sometimes when this happens, that says that for some reason, I've learned that it's not catching the fabric, and maybe you need to adjust your tension knob on top. There we go. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sew around this, and I'm just gonna take my time sewing around this because it's gonna look like you serged the edge together. And then you want to make sure it is folded under. And remember I said this is a tight part here. Something to learn from my mistake is to make sure you've added extra fabric on the side, because I didn't. And then I didn't think about all of the other parts that I would have to get done as well. Okay, now that's done there. I'll let you guys see that in just a moment. I'm going to put my needle down because I'm going to sew this all the way around. I'm going to top stitch. Now I could just top stitch and leave it there, but I believe it looks more aesthetically pleasing if you do it all the way around. If you're using and I'm going to try to stay along the edge as possible. If you're using the PUL, which I am, and you want it to, you want to seal the holes in it, because we're punching holes as we go around. If you touch the inner core part of it again, that's not a problem. All you need to do is use heat. So take your iron, put it on the highest heat. Don't burn your fabric on top, definitely. So put it on cotton, but let it stay on there a little while longer to try to seal those holes. And that will help. That's the purpose or the reason why I made mine where the core is up here, but I'm sewing back here. And I'll show you guys that in a moment. Okay, so here we are up on this other side. Okay. All right, so now I'm just doing the outer part on this side. And we'll take a look at it once I'm done. Okay, so now I'm back around to the first stitch. Okay, and that's just for protection for myself. I always do that. Again, cut your thread. I know I did this all backwards. No worries. Anyways, I'm gonna cut my thread. There we go. Got the top one cut, but not the bottom one. All right. Let's go back over and let's take a look at it. Put everything together. Finished product. This is your now cloth sanitary napkin. Okay. I'm going to show you what I mean when I say the holes. I mean, not holes, but the, I always like to trim all these off. Let me get these trimmed off, because sometimes they will bother me. Okay. There we go. Okay, so on the back, you're gonna see the outline. Now I did mine in white. Don't bother me. Because mainly, who's gonna really see these unless you're selling them? If you're selling them, then you wanna do this a lot better than what I've done. And hopefully, that's what I would like to do, is get to the place of being able to sell these and make these with my eyes closed. So practice makes perfect, and that's what I'm working on right now. So this is the finished product. All right, you're completely done. But here's what I was saying. There should be 2 lines, and I did this in white so you can see it. There should be the core line here. That's your core. This is the outer part. So therefore, you are not sewing into the PUL layer once again and causing it any more punctures in it that's needed, okay, than what's needed. So you should have a line going around the core here, and then you should have your sew line for your fabric. And that's about a 1/4 inch or a 3/4 inch place there. That's the reason why I did what I did. Now, again, on your edges, if you forget, like I did not make the top layer where it had the edges out to the side. Now, you can do that, and you can do it the way that I just did it too, okay? There's no problem. But this is the finished product. It shouldn't bleed on the back up here, or I said bleed or spill if someone doesn't like the word bleed, because these are sanitary napkins. You are going to have your, I'm not afraid to say it, period blood on these. So if you're shy to say it, I don't know how to work with that, but yeah, I'm just going to be very open and honest with these. So this is a linen backing. It does have a cotton top. This is what I had here. I wanted to keep practicing on the sanitary napkins, because eventually I want to sell them. Now, to fold this around a pair of underwear, let me get a pair of underwear, and you guys will be able to see how to put this on your underwear. And we're going to put the buttons in the you'll watch me do that in just a second. Now, and then I'm also going to grab my buttons. So bear with me. Grab my buttons. There we go. Nope, it's on the other side. There we go. Okay, so here we go. We have, excuse the noise, several things here going on. All right, those are the buttons. Okay, look like we casting a shadow now. I don't like casting too many shadows, so I'm gonna bring the camera up some, and then I'm gonna back it out some. That way you can see what I'm doing without casting too many shadows, because I don't, maybe that was what was combating that. Let's see. I think so. I'm not too sure. You know what? I'm leaving it alone. I'm trying to make sure you guys understand how the concept of this one. Okay, so these are gonna fold over your underwear. Now, my thought is, because sometimes we leak, ladies, let's be honest, we leak. What I've always wanted to do is to make it where you don't have to have the PUL all the way out to the edges of the sanitary napkin or the pad, and still not leak everywhere. Okay, so that's the idea. This is the idea of it here, and this is a full complete project. Now I'm gonna, of course, I did not sew the lines down the side here and the one down the middle. The reason you would sew that is to keep all the liquid to come to the center of the pad. Okay, on this one I did not do that. I'll test it out and tell you how that works. Anyways, I am going to iron this down in this fashion, and then we're gonna put another one together real quick here. All right, so we have it ironed down, and then as it's ironed down, now we're just gonna put our pins in, okay? And then I'm gonna show you how to attach it. So let's grab some pins. We're gonna grab out an awl to poke the hole in. Then we need the piece here. I always keep these things the same way they were sent to me. Put that in there, out of the way. Pick this up out of the way. And now, let's see, we have some green in here. We have some red in here. We need a color that goes with this. Let me see. That's if you want to match. Nope, that don't go with it too well. Maybe a dark green. No, wrong type of green. This color does. That goes really greatly with it. So that's the color we're gonna use. Because my next one was gonna be brown. I don't know how brown looks. That looks better. The brown looks better. So we're gonna go with the brown. Now I'm gonna pull these out. I'm gonna sit those over to the side. And sometimes it can be pretty hard getting these out because they're in such a small area. And what I do is I just pull a bunch of them out. I just take them and pull them out. And the reason I do that is so I have most of the parts that I need, and they're not stuck together. So I pin this together at first. I'm gonna take an awl and I'm gonna stick a hole without, I don't know if you can see that. Let's get the light on it once more again. If you can see that down in there. Even though this pin is here, let me see if I can make a little tunnel. You see, it's all the way through the fabric without poking the fabric underneath it, okay? So when you push a hole in, you want to bring the needle up this way or the awl up this way and push out. So now it should be out like so, okay? And now I'm just gonna pull it back out. And in order to make sure we get this right, we need one of these facing down, like so. So we put a snap in facing down. And now what we're gonna do, leave that snap where it's at, and you need one of these snaps, just like this, facing up. So you're gonna go from underneath. The hole is still there. If you can't see the hole, put them back on top of each other, and re-put the awl in there. and try to move it around a little bit to make it a lot larger. Now you have your bottom and toppers in the right place. Okay, you have one on the bottom on this side and one on the top so they can snap. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your snap face. You need one snap piece that looks sticking up, and let me show you them side by side so you can see the difference. You have one sticking up and one that's round and flat on top. Okay, you need one of these. You can put either of them in any place, doesn't matter. For me, I'm gonna take the one that we did on top, the outer, and we're gonna place it there. You're gonna get your snap gun, is what I call it. You're gonna sit that bottom piece, make sure it's completely in there, and then you're gonna make sure this is on top of it. Let's see. I don't know if I can get a close-up of that, but if it's not in there right, you'll hear it'll crack. Okay, and then you just want to press down. And now you have your snap on there. I don't like using the metal snaps. I do have metal snaps. I don't want to use metal snaps on this because this is going to go in the wash. These are going to be soaked in OxiClean water or whatever you use for detergent. You're going to soak them for as long as you can to get the stains and stuff off, and I don't want any rust. So now with this side, we're going to put that one on there like so, right? Now, what I was saying is this base plate needs to fit snugly right inside of here. Okay, they need to go inside there. So we put it down in there, make sure it's in there, and then you make sure the other part is on top, and you just press down. And then voila, you have your snap on one side. Now that you have your snap on this side, you just need one more snap. Now, some people put a snap in the middle and that's it. I like to deal with 2 snaps just in case one day you're in a rush and one of those snaps pop or break on you. Then you're like, oh man, I'm just going to have to lay it here and then pull them up, make sure I got it straight, and get yourself straight before you can leave the restroom. I don't like going through that issue. So I'm going to do another one on this side. Same ordeal. Let's see if I can get a close-up of this one as I do it. All right, so I gotta hold it here, but you're gonna take the awl from the top and you're gonna push through. As you can tell when you go through that second part of the fabric, because you'll feel the awl coming through. Let's see, can you see that? Oh, you know what? Just to get a close-up of this, I am going to take, and if this moves around a bit crazy for a moment, it's because I'm taking it off the tripod, and I'm going to bring it down to the level of my work area, so you can get a better picture of what I'm doing with the awl. Okay, so I go down, and you can see it under there. Bring the light a little closer. There we go. And you can see where I'm poking the hole. There we go. There we go. Poke the hole. Go down some. There we go. We're poking the hole in there. And you can see that all in there. Now I'm going to switch positions. No longer is it going to go straight down. Switch positions and come forward this way. Okay, and then I'm going to wiggle the awl, wiggle it a little bit, so therefore that hole that I just made, I can see it when I pull it out. And now you can see the hole straight through. All right, same ordeal. We're gonna take, we know we want the one on the bottom underneath here to be up. So now we're gonna put one of the little heads to the snap piece with the pokey part on it. That's what I call it. And then you put it in there, and then you're gonna just press down. That puts the material over it. Then you're gonna take and you're gonna put
the pokey piece here on top, and you're gonna press the fabric down around it. Then I believe these are male and female parts. So here we go again. You have a male part here. Oh, maybe you can see it better if I sit it down. You have a male part and you have the female part. Doesn't matter which one goes on top. Okay? I always put the male part on top. You can put it on the bottom. You can put the female part on top. Sometimes I get them mixed up. As long as you get them on there, don't matter. Now, make sure this has to have this piece snugly in there, and that way it'll fit on top. If it doesn't, you'll hear something like a crack because you're squeezing this, and then these things are really hard to come off after you apply them. Okay, so after you apply them, it's really hard to get them off. So be very careful about that. And then you're gonna take and put this one in there, same way. And you can tell if you don't have it all the way in there because it won't fit. And then you just press. And there you go. You have your snaps. You have your snaps on there. All right. The meaning part to this that holds these together. This part that sticks up, that's on this part here. Oh, the part that sticks up. Let's get you in camera view. Without being so. There we go. The part that sticks up here gets smushed down on top of the hole it goes through. The hole it goes through in these. And I can see that, but there we go. Okay, it gets smushed down. And what that looks like is this. Here, let me pull this apart. Pretty tightly. There we go. See? That inner part is smushed down inside there on both sides. And therefore, when you go, you should hear something that sounds like this. So you know you got it closed, all right? Going back up on the tripod here. Hopefully I don't stop anything. All right. Okay, now that we're back on the tripod, this is what it looks like. Now, I already chose the color of buttons I'm gonna put on each one of these. So I'm not gonna go back over that again. All right, because I know that I'm gonna start moving some of this stuff out of my way that I don't need right up on me. So let me show you, move all the stuff out of the way. Let me show you how to put this on your underwear. So you take your underwear. All right. A lot of people still don't know how to wear cloth. You wear them just like you do the store-bought ones. So you have your underwear here. And with your underwear here, you want to take and you want to unsnap these. That's the sound of having it there. Okay, now, whether you go more to the front or more to the back, you can make this a lot longer to protect you. If you're gonna make it a lot longer, don't make this width so circular. I don't think you can see that. Don't make this width so circular. I'll show you one where I've made it a little longer in the front and in the back. Okay, and we'll get to that. Right now I'm working on the circular ones where they just fit. Okay, so you're gonna sit it down in there. You're gonna take and you're just gonna press those down or snap it around your underwear. After you snap it around your underwear, guess what? That's it. It should look like this in your underwear. There's the back of how it will look in the back. And then when you pull your underwear up, you have it in there like so. All right. So now you have an idea. There we go. Now you have an idea
of what it looks like with it being in your underwear, okay? All right. So, hopefully I did that justice. If I didn't, then I'll come back and I'll have to do another review of it. All right, there we go. That is your sanitary napkin. All right. And that's the end of this one. I am going to put some more together exactly like this. I'm not going to change the look of it, look or feel of it. Now, if you wanted to fold this, I have a way that I fold mine when I make them myself. And on my other ones, let me see if I got one. I can show you where it is made different from these. And these little snaps are very tough. All right, hold on a second. Probably don't have one. Okay, no, I don't. I wish I did. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Whew. So this is something a lot. Y'all will forgive me. Because I do have one. Okay. Here we go. I'll show you. These are made a little different, and I've got to, these don't have the PUL in them. One of them do, one don't. I'll show you the one that does. Let's see. And this was a preliminary project here. But it has 3 buttons, like I said. So, oh, it does. Okay, so preliminary and result. You guys get to see both. I didn't think I finished that one, but I did. Awesome sauce. Praise Elohim. You guys get to see it. All right, let's kind of back that up so you can see both. All right. Beginning project with the PUL layer shown. This is flannel, and this is the flannel that was on the inside that went straight all the way through. And all I did was serge the edges around the end. That's all I did. I serged the edges. That was it. Now on this one, it's not going through to the PUL layer because the only punctures are around the edges here of the PUL layer, right? But this is what I was talking about. I forgot to put my sew line in here. My fold lines in, because I like to have those in. And what that does, that tells me where this is supposed to be folded on this side, where it's supposed to be folded on that side, and where I'm supposed to fold it once I have finished everything. So this is what I'm talking about having a pattern in mind and just sticking with it or sticking to it and just doing it. Now, another thing on this one that's a prototype, or it's just my very first one, is not very well put together at all. You will see I did not fold those edges under. Let me get closer. And they're just hanging out there. So I didn't fold the edges under. I just sewed around it so I can have my base idea of what the end product is supposed to look like. Okay, even on this one I made some mistakes. Okay, and this was my second one. You get to see both of them, and in making mistakes, that's how you learn, that's how you fix stuff. So over here you fold in, over and over, and that's it. You really don't have to make a cloth cover for them unless you want to. I think it's just easier just like this in your purse, without having to carry an extra little cloth, because you already got to carry your wet bag around with you. Okay, so yeah, that's my way of folding it. And when you put it down in your purse, of course nobody else should be in your purse. Your husband goes in your purse. He should understand what that is too. And then most men don't like going in your purse anyways. So yeah, that was my preliminary. So with this one, it's the same idea. It's nothing different. You fold down here, you fold down here. The only difference is those lines are not there to guide you. So you're gonna bring this part across like so, right? And then there we go. And then you're gonna bring this part across and just pin it. It's easier with the things sometimes, with the lines, with having a guide. And then there you go. Nobody knows what it is. It looks very neat, very well put together. And this one looks like it has a little smile. 2 eyes and a smile. Ha ha ha. Anyways, yeah, that's just how I'm doing mine. You have any suggestions or comments, just let me know down in the comment section below. And I will definitely take them into consideration and get on the ball with it. Thank you so much for watching. And this is a channel where you can find something for everyone. Again, my name is Ori, and I enjoy doing tinkering things and making things like this. And if you do, come on over and join us. You never know what project I'm gonna work on next. Right now, we're just kind of going with the whim and going with it, all right? Have a great day.